Welcome back, students. I have brought to you another interesting topic today, and that is portfolio analysis and BCG matrix. In strategic management, portfolio analysis holds a unique significance because of its ability to place the portfolio in such a position where it becomes easy for the decision makers to identify what are the strong brands they are holding in their portfolio or what are the strong and weak products in their product range. So this was developed under the Boston Consultancy Group, or it is also famous as Boston Consultancy Matrix model, and it first time when it was developed, it tried to tell that we can identify the firm's various products in 4 categories and take the decisions accordingly. Now, how to identify these categories and how to manage the portfolio. Why this becomes necessary? Let us understand first. So, in this lecture, we are going to discuss 2 things. First is we are going to understand what portfolio analysis approach is, and second part will cover the BCG matrix and its applicability. So, let us start with portfolio analysis approach. So, what is portfolio? Portfolio is a group of products or units with the company which over the period of time it has developed under its brand. So, these various products are all together run by one company, and it becomes complex for the companies to identify which brands are more profitable, which brands we should grow in the future, and which brands can be cut or diversified or can be taken out of the market. So this happens with many big companies when they are having extremely large portfolio. Their portfolio is diversified. That means they are having number of products under their umbrella, or they are having number of strategic business units with them. So how do they manage them? So this matrix allows them to identify such brands under such labels where they can place them in a position to identify their strengths and weaknesses, and also the opportunities and threats in the market. So it is not SWOT analysis, but it is the company's overview over its products under various labels. So portfolio approach allows a company to have a portfolio altogether. That means to place all the brands at one place and then analyze them. So let us understand why portfolio analysis is necessary and what are the advantages and disadvantages of it. So portfolio analysis allows, when we are putting all the brands all together, we can see what brands are risky or what units are risky, who are giving us returns, more returns, and who have the future. Which brands are very diversified, and it determines the dispersion of the returns also. That means one brand is giving more returns, and value maximization is possible through those brands for the whole portfolio of the company we are talking. And are there sufficiencies with these brands for us so that we can have the suffering brands perform better through investments or through modifications. So the advantages of portfolio analysis are they allow us to identify many things, like they identify the lagging assets, which are the assets with the company, and they also help us identify the risk and exposures of those brands with the competitive market. It allows the benchmark performance. That means we can decide what brands we are expected to perform at what level, and also it is a forward-looking technique. That means why one would prepare a portfolio and analyze it It will be analyzed for the future strategies, whether to have those brands continued or what to do with those brands. So usually portfolio analysis gives us a big picture which tells us which brands are going to be sustainable in the race. The disadvantages are, obviously it is not possible for all the companies and at that level to place all these brands one together and analyze them one by one. It takes a lot of time and it is very complex. This matrix is not just a 2 by 2 matrix for those companies who are having a wide variety of product. So it is time consuming and complex. The one who will analyze this has to be expert, has to be experienced, and also he needs to know the practicability of the matrix and its application. It is a forecasting, so it is not going to give us a certain results like we are always nowadays talking about the pandemic situation which nobody had ever imagined. So not always suitable, and it do not also considers the synergies. So when we are talking about portfolio analysis, it is talking about one company's or one big brand's portfolio of various products or SBUs. So it may also happen that companies go for mergers or acquisitions or partnerships, or there can be some synergy effects it may gain which will be value adding to it. So and how the synergy effect comes. So one company is when offering wide variety of products, it may have complementary products or such products which will all together give it an advantage of its brand. So that is not so much covered up with the portfolio analysis. So these are the advantages and disadvantages I have tried to cover in very simple and short language here. Let us move to the second part of ours, and that is the BCG matrix. Very interesting matrix, and it was one of its first kind when it came into the picture to allow the companies to identify with its popular dog cash cow metaphor also. It is also called as dog cash metaphor matrix. And why it is so? Why this was identified as stars, question marks, and so on. So this matrix is also called as growth share matrix. Remember, we are covering this part under growth strategies. This is a growth share matrix also. Some call this as BCG matrix, which is popular as. It has 4 quadrants in this matrix. 2 by 2's matrix. There are 4 quadrants which are question mark, stars, dog, and cash cow. Now what these 4 things are? So this matrix tells us that divide your all the portfolios, products or SBUs in 4 categories. Identify which products are stars, question marks, dogs, and cash cows. Now what does this mean, stars and the other things? So as you can see here, this matrix is having on the y-axis market growth rate, which is the industry sales. We can say that how the market growth rate is there, how the industry is growing. And another is relative market share. In that growing industry, what is your market share and how your portfolio is altogether performing. So we are talking here about SBU's sales. So each SBU is on this x-axis, and that is relative market share. So these 2 factors are there. So it is allowing basically a company to do a resource allocation for the diversified products. Fine. So resource allocation is possible if one is able to analyze this matrix. Now once you put the x-axis and y-axis, that is relative market share and growth share, the next thing comes is dividing all the products in 4 categories. Question marks. Now who are question marks? So let's start with the stars first because it is easy to understand. As you can see here on this matrix, I have just noted down here low and high. So relative market share. Relative market share, that is company SBU sales are low or high. In this growing industry, where are you? In this growing industry, are your sales low or high? Fine. And again, is this industry growing or not? So is the growth rate low or high? Is the growth rate low or high? Fine. So we are talking about in such industries which are growing, how we are performing. So there will be a combination. So there are certain products in company's portfolio which are excellently performing, especially FMCG products, where they are the stars. Now who are stars? They have high relative market share and high growth rate. High market share, high growth rate. They are having future growth also, so they are having relative market share, a big market share. That is most of the time they are the leaders in this industry, and also they are growing day by day. So they are ahead of the competition. So they are called as stars. So stars have high market share and high growth rate. Opposite to them are low market share, low growth rate. In that industry also, that industry is also not growing, and also in that industry your market share is also growing. So neither you are making money, neither your sales are there. So even the products are selling, there are no profits. So that means these products can be categorized as stocks. Now high and low with low combinations are easy to understand, or easy to for you to understand this other matrix, that with the high and high combination we can call them as stars. Opposite to stars there are dogs, that is no market share and no growth rate. Fine. This first quadrant is of question marks. Now when question mark will come? So something is good but still not growing. That means you can see here the relative market share of the question mark is low, whereas growth rate is high. So industry sales are growing. Everybody else is growing, but we are not. These products are those which, so let's see nowadays, if all the sanitizer making companies are growing, means their sales are growing, but there might be such companies whose sanitizers are not being sold today also. So these companies can be categorized as quality, and everybody else is growing, why we are not? So there is a question. So that will be a questionable product. And last quadrant is cash cows. These are the cash cows, are the products which are giving you extremely good profits in low investments. These are growing, these needs maintenance investments, but they are giving extremely good results or returns. So cash cow, compare it with the literal meaning of cow. So cow, if one cow gives you 10 liters milk a day, so every day it is giving you 10 liters of milk, and that 10 liters with just an investment of one cow. So the person who has made a capital investment for that cow and purchased it, now what he has to spend? Only the maintenance cost of the cow, that is feeding her and maintaining her places. So this is the maintenance cost, and it is giving him liters of milk every day, which he is selling and making profits. So these products are the cash cows. Fine. So these are the four quadrants. Now, is it possible for every company to identify its portfolio in such a way? May or may not be. It's a complex process. The more the number of SBUs or products, more it becomes complex. Still, it is giving a very good picture to the company to at least nearby place their products in these four categories. So identification is somewhere possible. So once these products are identified, now what? Now every company knows who is star, who is dog. Okay, some products are extremely good. They are performing extremely well. So they are stars, cash cows, etc. Now what? So when a company identifies that some products are stars, that is means they are high growth and high return. Now what? So usually the companies try to convert, or ideally they should try to convert these stars into cash cows. Fine, because cash cows, here your investments are less, profits are more, and also you can see growth rate is still there, market share is also there, growth rate is still there, and they are growing, they are having less investments. So the ultimate objective of every company can be to make every of its product to cash cow. If not possible, then to star. So when a company identifies something as question mark, so the next step comes is the question marks means these are the problem. You can say a problem child. Why it is not growing when everybody is? So it is something which is not performing normally. So in the normal industry, every company is growing and it is not. So what else is needed? Do we need any modifications? Do we need to invest more in that brand's performance, R&D or so? So that those actions can be taken here for the question mark. And then if the problem is market share, see, you can see growth rate is there, means it has the opportunity to grow because everybody else is growing. The only question is why their market share is not growing, means individual SBU sales are not growing. So if the company focuses on that, then from low it will shift to high and it will become a star. So question marks are tried to be converted into stars. Now when stars are there, so star means the market share is high here, fine, and these stars can be converted into cash cows, because when we talk about stars, this position has to be maintained. The star position has to be maintained. Every star's position has to be maintained. They have a high maintenance cost, high investments, because they are also giving high returns. So the next objective comes is minimum investment, maximum returns, which is gained by cash cows. So the next strategy comes with the stars is when the stars are identified, the company should take more efforts to convert them into cash cow. This is what the matrix tells you and allows to understand that, okay, identify these 4 categories, then take suitable actions. Now what these suitable actions can be? So there are 4 strategies, those can be derived as an action plans after analyzing this analysis, and that is build, hold, harvest or divest. So what is building? When we will build any brand, when we see that market share is high and we still have a potential, so we have to build them for the future. Which products can be hold? So when there is a future and we still have the capacity, so we need to hold our market position. Otherwise, if you imagine the product life cycle, so introduction, growth, maturity, and after maturity there is a decline. So if you will not hold this position, there can be a decline position in the for the product. So there is a hold strategy. So to hold that product into the market, what a company needs to do, that action that needs to do is an action plan. That means a company is able to derive some strategy here. Harvest, those products who are question marks, those need to be harvested. Fine. So cash cows need to be hold, stars needs to be built, question marks we can say harvest, and those products which are completely struggling, like the product of dog category, these have to be completely liquidated or taken out of the market, because there is no use by putting any investment into this, because they have no potential. So see, there is no relative market share of that particular SBU is low and industry is not growing for it. So we can take it out from it. So when you identify these 4 quadrants, you can take 4 4 strategies, that is the 4 action plans, and that is the importance of BCG matrix, that it allows the companies to take such actions or strategies. So I'm again telling you what these four things are. So stars are the best opportunities for expansion because still have future and they have capacity. Future and capacity, you can write it down here. Market growth rate means future, and this is the market share that you can say a capacity. Cash cows are established SBUs, they are well-known brands and they need to be whole. So cash cows are giving you lesser investments, more returns. What are question marks? They are also called as the problem child of the parent companies who are cash traps. See, everybody else growing, he is not, even when we are putting a lot of money into it. So we need to identify what is the problem. So they are the cash traps with low potential. Cash traps with low potential. Everybody else is growing, they are not. And dogs have no future establishment. There are no future. Dog category products having no future, and also they do not have any potential. So this is about the BCG matrix. Friends, I hope you have understood this. To understand the practical application of BCG matrix, there are certain disadvantages of this, and those are not every company is able to identify this portfolio with those complexities as how they can identify such products as dogs, cash. It is not always possible, and the management may find it very difficult to define them in these 4 categories, and also viewing every business unit as 4 categories is overly simplistic. Not always it makes a logic, and many businesses will fall right in the middle of nowhere, means neither you can identify them question mark, star, dog or cash cows. So where you are going to put those products and what you are going to do with them, because these 4 strategies are there, but some products may not fall into all those 4. Then what you are going to do, that is not told by the BCG matrix. And BCG matrix, it forces on the classification of the business units, which advise for the future planning. So it is just for the future planning and not the current positions or current problem solving. So these are some of the disadvantages of the BCG matrix that you can identify. Now the next task for you is go search the website, search the application of BCG matrix and search for such companies who are using BCG matrix at large. So friends, for now this is it. Until and unless I bring you the next management lesson, keep watching and keep learning. Thank you.